one has the right to threaten any candidate not to campaign in any part of the country. It is Tinubu's democratic right to campaign in the nooks and crannies of this country, and no one should stop that. Atiku Abubakar has the right to campaign. Likewise, Peter Obi. Nigerians should be called to order. Let democracy thrive. Support your candidate peacefully. Let the discussion be robust. Threat will not work. So I support Ohanaeze here. Ohanaeze orders berate Igbo youth group over threat to Tinubu's supporters. Alleged $418 million Paris Club debt. Governors query Malami's haste to pay consultants. These are interesting headlines on the front page of The Nation. The Guardian on its front page says romance with opposition. Wike denies suing Atiku. Hits PDP governors. What is Wike up to? Mr. Wike hit the nail on the head. Stop beating around the bush. Let's know where you stand. Wike has been crying for almost 4 years. Okay, let's see how far Wike will go. But these are interesting times in our democracy. Professor Omole at 80. I'm sad most academics are no longer interested in academia. Don't be sad, Prof. Education is in crisis. Every sector of our life is in crisis. But in this crisis will come that new country, that hope that will take us to a new land. No matter the pain of the time, never you feel we will not be fine. We will be fine, and everything good is coming. I hope you are ready to join the band and dance to the tune of goodness. What is the radio man discussing this morning? I welcome you to this class. In this class, I will be involved in exploration, interpretation, and narrative of politics and power. Seyi Makinde will feature prominently in this discourse. But I'm using auxiliary as a case study to explain intrigues and power. I promise you a swell time in this class, and I'm happy you're here. When I talk about stories of time, questions will arise. I will answer many of the questions. But let me tell you something. I discovered that most of us are full of fear of the future. Fear of what to eat. Fear of shelter. Fear robs the mind of the power of reasoning. Fear makes one run when nothing is chasing. But you know what courage does? Courage conquers fear and withholds the body from flight, no matter the risk of pain. I tell you this morning that in times of hardship like this, courage reinforces the resolution of the mind to seek for truth. It is the wisdom to navigate through the obstacles of time. Friends, There is no perfect freedom from fear, but the freedom to live with the power of courage brings light in the dark. It is the power of your mind. How you feel is mostly your making. Take note of this point. It is retrogressing to let fear hold you from pursuing hope. So, conquer your fears with courage. The radio man is here. The program is State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Oh, yo! Now God dey dash pikin to mama and papa dem o. And na so God dash breast milk to pikin dem. Breast milk get all the better things wey good for your pikin. Plus water. No forget o, give your pikin breast milk only for the first 6 months. This message now from ARIM Project, Federal Ministry of Health.
Ìsọjí ìyanu ìwòsàn ìtúsílẹ̀ ní ọba àwọn ọba tún gbé dìde láti ìjọ ìgbàgbọ́ àti ìyanu ti àgbáyé Faith and Miracle International Church níbi tí ikọ̀ àti ìríjú Ọlọ́run alààyè.
To spend your time. It also shows how the environment can be engaged to save the youths from themselves.
Salad everywhere. It is not only this place alone. We have, in fact, if you want to count the joint around here alone, it runs to almost 50.
What's this area called?
This is academy. This academy, you know, we have a common name here. We call it Koronu.
Our man Pepe must have known their temperament when he accompanied us into their space. When they saw how relaxed Pepe was, they realized how their obedience would make the world understand their plight.
Alájà gan wa jẹ ogbó ẹni pátá lówó tá rí ọkàn ṣálájọ ní gbẹnu sí alájà gbọ́dọ̀ gbẹnu
àdìbò alẹ rí sẹsẹ
kọsẹ yá dress àmì sísè.
àríyàn kan jẹ ẹtì rí táwọn ṣe jókòó jẹ ẹtì rí àwọn tó bá wà ló pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
ìjọba sàánú wa iná sàánú kò lè bá wa níbi ẹ̀sọ́ tẹ̀yìn náà lọ́rùn Chicago kọ́fábílì jẹ náà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n sàánú wa àríkànjẹ tó sàánú wa.
In this chaos, there is a food seller. Her moi moi made from beans saves the boys from hunger, even when they can't pay for it.
Jẹ́wọ̀n kì í sanwó àbálùlọ kálukú wọn máa ń ṣe káàkiri wọn máa ń yọ mí lẹ́nu fún oúnjẹ náà ní okun ẹ̀mí wọn lè fi oúnjẹ lásán náà máa wọlé. Ó pọ́ lẹ́bi tí mo dúró yìí tí mo dáná pọ́ ni mí o bí ìlọ́kọ́ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ìyá ni wọ́n máa ń ṣe mo fún wọn pé àwọn náà ṣàlẹ́ nìkan tí wọ́n ṣàjẹun.
We are in Koronu where people don't think.
Depends on what I'm using it. It makes me feel.
Okay.
When you take ganja and you use it to reason about life or about anything about money,
Okay.
you try to hustle more.
Okay.
And that is what I think it makes me to do.
It gives you inspiration.
Inspiration. to think further.
Do you have a job? Do you have a
I
job?
have a job. I'm a graduate from Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro.
But so yes, you are a graduate.
Yes,
so where do you work?
I don't work in any place now.
You don't get job?
I don't get job now.
So that's why you spend more time here?
I spend more time here now. As at now, I'm a graduate from Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro.
So if you get job now, you're not going to spend more time here?
When I get job, I can't, when I get job and I have where I'm going.
Let's start this class. It's a class of reason. I will make some permutation and let's engage. The lines are ready, and when it's time, I'll open them. Look, I have a story to tell. It's about a villain working for kings. He thinks himself a king, having drunk from the cups of power laying about in the palaces of the reckless kings. The people are now at the mercy of the king's man, and he runs amok, having been drunk from the wine of power. But I don't blame the villain so bad, because it is not really his making. He is a casualty ready to be abandoned when the heat gets too hot for comfort. He knows this and has learned to protect himself, to rope in those likely to deny him when the cock crows. Remember, he is a villain, not a conqueror. But he is fighting to save himself from his past, and by so doing, he is complicating his future with his escapades. In this story, never take him for a ride, as his time has taken a meaning that only the king of the moment can explain. If Seyi Makinde is the king of the moment, then auxiliary is the drunkard. The story is about the rise and fall of auxiliary and his rehabilitation by Seyi Makinde. It's not really about auxiliary or she. It's about Lam Adesina. It's about Rashid Ladoja. It's about Abiola Ajimobi. It's about Alao Akala. So in this analysis, Seyi Makinde represents Lam Adesina, Rashid Ladoja, Alao Akala, and Abiola Ajimobi, while auxiliary represents Tokyo, Elewiomo, Fele, and others. It is a story of how politicians have hijacked the NURTW in different forms to serve their interest. And you begin to ask, how come none of them can do without these unofficial soldiers. That is why I said it's not just about she. Just that she is the man of the moment and auxiliary is the villain of the moment. Certain questions will arise. Is the character of auxiliary about the 2023 gubernatorial election? When auxiliary speaks, does he speak for Makinde? What is clear is that Oyo State is witnessing the resurgence of auxiliary. Is it marvelous in your eye? Do you sympathize with the politicians auxiliary attack verbally? Is auxiliary overreaching himself to the disadvantage of Makinde? Is she auxiliary's prisoner? I will do my best to answer these questions in this class. Let me introduce you to a concept. I will come back to the concept. I said here, because they are unofficial soldiers, they are in love with warmongering, arrogant, cruel leaders. That means to impress the leader, they must continually generate conflict. Now, when you have that kind of leadership, it gives vent to the cruelty and avarice of unofficial soldiers. Okay, I'm happy you are in this class. We are streaming on Facebook. So go on my page, help share the class so that those who are far and near can join the class. So go on Edmund Obilo's Facebook page, share the class. That's the way of calling more people into the class. It's about politics and power. The radio man is here. Hello, radio man. How are you? I'm fine. All right, radio man. Carry on. Good. So let's go. You remember Fayoshi, the governor of Ekiti State? Mukaila Lamidi, popularly known as auxiliary, has mastered the art of remaining relevant despite the obstacles that have threatened to diminish his standing in the community. It is not because auxiliary has outsmarted those who want him down. It is more of a man being ensnared by time. You know, one would think that going to prison for conspiracy to murder would subdue him. But he has proven to be a handful for his opponent. Auxiliary is the chairman of the Oyo State Motor Parks Disciplinary Committee, codenamed Parks Management System. In fact, as a political scientist, auxiliary has given me data for my analysis. And some of the data I will be using on this show. So auxiliary is a political animal. Yes, he went to prison. He came back and he is fine. When he went to prison, many abandoned him. But Seyi Makinde had sympathy for him and felt the prison experience should be a lesson for him, that he deserves to be welcomed back to society. Fatai Owoshini is a security advisor to Seyi Makinde. So in this chat, Fatai Owoshini and Muideen Olagunju brings us closer to the man auxiliary. These park managers we hear fighting every day on the road, what are you doing about it?
I think the system is set up using a procedure and structures were put in place, and I would also advise that anything that happens should be reported to that structure, and I think it's under a particular ministry. There is actually little or nothing I can, because I'm not within the structure that works.
On that, Edmund, I would like to say that any appointments that will have implications for government should be rendered only to people that are not of questionable character.
Hit the nail on the head.
No, I'm saying this, that this is a tax management service that is critical to revenue generation for government. If government is going to populate that agency with people, it must not be people that have had cases of murder,
somebody like auxiliary,
people that have reputation for violence, like auxiliary.
Yes. The governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, is to thank for reclothing auxiliary in the image of a disciplined operator with no limit to his escapades. Why escapades? Escapades because in auxiliary speeches, dressing down Seyi Makinde's opponent, he faced no pretense that the game of power is for the swift and deadly. Ayodele Fayose understands this, and he will not forget in a hurry the song auxiliary composed for him in April 2021 in Oyo State during the Southwest Zonal Congress of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The rhythm of the song is bitter, and Fayose was not expected to dance. Auxiliary sings. Persons into this class. I am on Edmund Obilo's page. Let's share. We still have more people to come. Go on Splash FM page. Let's share. I want more people in this class. Help me attract them. Tell them the radio man is on radio. Use your page to tell them on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. The radio man is here. Since Fayose has listened to Auxiliary's song of sorrow, he is expected to mourn for our democratic tradition, harassed and intimidated by men and women who has turned the game of power to underdevelopment. As I watched Fayose on Channels Television interpret the Song of Death, I saw him struggling to reflect on the journey of woes he has encouraged over time, but now finds himself at the receiving end. Oshoko has seen the consequences of power for power's sake. Yes, that was Fayose on Channels Television on the 14th of April, 2021. It's sad, he cries. You know, when you are at the receiving end, you feel the pain. Did Fayose encourage Togri at any time in his life? Mr. Ayodele Fayose, the answer is yours. However, the point that got to me in that interview is that Makinde looks quiet but deadly. I don't understand what Fayose means by being deadly. Perhaps he's saying that auxiliary is working for Makinde and that auxiliary, having been confirmed as deadly by a court of law, can only be a vivid representation of Makinde, whom he works for. But is auxiliary Makinde? Does auxiliary believe that he is deadly? Okay, I have sat down with auxiliary and I will tell you how we got to sit down. But when we sat down, I came out with this. Auxiliary told me that he has never held a gun in his life. He told me that clearly. Did I believe him? That does not matter. All right, auxiliary, I never hold gun in my life.
People used to call me good man, good man. Some people call me bad man, which is not supposed to be.
Should I say you are a good and a bad man?
Well, I'm a good man. Those people who used to move with me or move nearer me to me, they know that I'm a good and gentle man.
Can you be gentle?
Yeah, I'm a gentleman.
The auxiliary we hear of?
No, I'm not like that. It's a garage name. People know me as a good man.
Why do you think you are a good man?
Like me now, if I see suffering people crying for help, for anything, I used to help them always. Even though in my house, since me and Alhaji Tokyo Day for government, the same government, in my house every Friday I used to do sadaka. Even though I'm not at Ibadan now because I arrived this morning, yesterday night, sorry, because of this interview. You can see me now. I am dressing back. After this interview, I'm going back to Ilesha Bariba.
Why are you not staying in Ibadan? What is pursuing you?
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's because of what Alhaji Lateef Akisola Tokyo come and do with us in our garage.
Which garage?
At Iwuru, sir. And you know that by that time, all we will be national union, we have to support government or the day. Till now, both those people who then did there now, they have to support government today.
So the union has the responsibility to support any government in power?
Or either you like it or not.
So you supported Akala?
I supported Akala.
And you worked for Akala?
No, yes, I work for Akala. Because I'm a PDP member.
Are you still a PDP member?
I'm still a PDP member.
Are you going to join ACN?
No. I'm not like that.
What kind of job do you do?
I'm a driver, professional driver, sir.
But auxiliary don't drive buses on our roads.
No. I stopped driving. I never stopped driving until now. Both my car, I used to drive. Okay, you mean that you are not seeing me? I'm now a transporter.
You own many buses?
Yeah, plenty, both cars.
How many buses do you have?
No, I have buses like 4 now, 4.
How can auxiliary have 4 buses? What happened to the many buses you had on the roads?
No, when I have come out in power, I used to sell all.
What do you do now?
I'm not a businessman.
Are you a killer?
No, I'm not a killer. I never kill a goat, both a fowl, even the fowl. Nah, you can ask me.
Who killed people in a war road?
Nah, it's a lie.
Who killed a medical student?
It
was rumored that you were seen holding AK-47 in a war road.
No, like I never hold gun in my life. No, not in my life. I never hold gun. Can never see me with gun.
These park managers we hear fighting every day on the road. Yes, that interview was in 2012. It was in 2012. I think I need to see auxiliary again, because I have listened to that interview and have given interpretations to some of the wordings. Okay, I think I need to see auxiliary again. Since there is a resurgence of auxiliary, there should be a resurgence of the news about him. And there is no way Seyi Makinde will not be in that news. Auxiliary has been a member of PDP. He was an Akala man. I remember when some thugs invaded the Oyo State House of Assembly, when lawmakers like Nofiu Bale were stripped naked. I saw the activities that day. See, auxiliary became prominent when he joined forces with Lateef Salako, aka Elewiomo, to take over the affairs of the National Union of Road Transport Workers in Oyo State. They did this with the endorsement of the sitting governor, Otumba Adebayo Alao Akala. Elewiamo, before his death, explains the situation that threw him up as chairman of NURTW. Can you take your mind back to that day when Tokyo was made the chairman of the NURTW in Oyo State? Was he made a legitimate chairman, or he was imposed?
He became a chairman in 1999, August 17th, by force. He write vote of no confidence that all of us we should shine to remove Mr. James Ojewumi from the seat.
And you signed?
Everybody, we will not sign.
Why? Were you scared of him? Why did you all sign?
We are afraid of him. None of us are not afraid of him.
So that was why you signed?
We have to sign.
And you all made him the chairman?
Yes. We push Alhaji Chief Ojewumi out of seat by vote of no confidence. He was never made any election.
And he made you what you are today after that day?
Yes, I was before he became the state chairman, we were branch chairman together.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
You worked for Tokyo?
Yes, people know that I work for him.
So you were once Tokyo's boy?
Yes.
But you are no longer his boy?
I'm no longer his boy.
You are angry with him now?
Yes. Is it good to a very good leader to be looking forward to kill somebody who is under him?
Do you know that people call you a bad man?
I am not a bad man. People knows me very well. They can easily compare me. I use almost a year in the office. People can easily testify.
Are you a dangerous man?
No, I'm never a dangerous man.
During the Ladoja time, you were among those that perpetrated violence in Oyo State?
At all.
While Tokyo was in prison, you led the gangs on ground, disrupting the peace in Oyo State?
At all. There's nothing like that.
Who did that?
Nobody. During that time, it's a political fight. It's not a matter of a union. I cannot even, I told you, I left Ibadan when they wanted to kill me. I went to Lagos.
Who wanted to kill you then?
Those Ladoja boys.
But you were working for Adidubu then?
It's when I was running to Lagos, some of our people who is a follower to Alhaji Tokyo, they went to Adidubu's house.
So how did they work for Adidubu?
They were there. So when I came from Lagos, I will meet them before I go back to Lagos, because I know that they are looking forward, because they know after Tokyo, I am the next man.
Is Tokyo a dangerous man?
It's a dangerous man.
If Tokyo is a dangerous man, then Elewiamo should be dangerous.
I am not dangerous.
Birds of the same feather fly together.
At all. That is the only problem that I have. As I am, I cannot do bad things to any other person. If I want to do it, before he was arrived from the prison, I would take over the seat. But I didn't do so.
But why did you take over eventually?
Thank you very much. When this thing was happening, I was in my house for almost 12 days. Because those night guards that they were killed, I heard yesterday that he said they were not. He is the police, a woman police, who is the DPO at Ogbere police station by then, is the one who come and carry the corpse. Because I did not allow him to carry it before. But he was saying, if people see these people, it can cause another problem. Because before 12 in the midnight, all our area is full of all drivers when they start hearing that this is what is happening, even CP come to my house, they saw how what is happening. You see a very blood inside my child's room. Because immediately they started hearing the gun, they wake up. The gun was matched them in the front. And when we went to the station, Alaitoku refused not to come. I was there 2 hours. They phoned him. He refused not to come. Before I left there, I told the police that I am going back because my child was in the hospital.
But eventually, Tokyo was arrested.
He was arrested on his house at the ceiling.
And you took that opportunity to become the chairman?
At all. When he was arrested, I was at home. And all motor park was full of a problem. When I came, I firstly released one in Tribune that he thought she removed themselves from the motor park. They should not use this opportunity to destroy anything. I am not about that. But when I came out after 13 days, because the 8 days was Friday, so I still be at home on Saturday, Sunday. On Monday, I now come out. I now call everybody in the state council. They should go and maintain peace. We are not the only union in Oyo State.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
That's late Elewiomo speaking there. You know, he talked about Ladoja boys, Adidibu boys. When you talk about Ladoja boys, perhaps you begin to think of Sunday Igbo. So when I say it's not just about she, the question is that why are all of them interested in these guys? I will break that down in this class. Why they are interested in these guys, all of them, even Ajimobi. All right, few months after that interview, Elewiomo was killed in December 2010 during PDP local government congress in Onara local government. I will be back, and remember, keep sharing, don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM.
A lot of people wonder how Dubai became a very big, famous and rich city.
You see, if you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption. That's what brings your country at the top. You don't need anything. We want water, we don't have agriculture, we don't have mining.
That's quite interesting.
And that's Sheikh Mohammed. Number one, he doesn't know number two, he needs only number one. He says, I don't know, there's no number two in my book, only number one.
I hear he doesn't ride in a convoy, is that true?
Yeah, no, he doesn't because everybody loves him.
Yeah. We love our leaders too. Thank you very much.
Welcome to Koronu Axis Ibadan. There are streets in the Axis where young people struggle to make sense of their place in a country troubled by unemployment and poverty. In this place, smoking marijuana gives inspiration. While the Axis presents the opportunity to see how they spend their time, it also shows how the environment can be engaged to save the youths from themselves.
Sala everywhere. It is not only this place alone. We have, in fact, if you want to count the joint around here alone, it runs to almost 50.
What's this area called?
This is academy. This academy, you know, we have a common name here. We call it Koronu.
Our man Pepe must have known their temperament when he accompanied us into their space. When they saw how relaxed Pepe was, they realized how their opinions would make the world understand their plight.
alájà gan wa jẹ gbogbo ẹ ni pátá lówó tá a rí yàn kan ṣálájú ò ní gbẹnu sí alájà gbọ́dọ̀ gbẹnu sí ṣẹ́ẹ̀rì kọ́sẹ̀ yá dẹ̀ sàmì sí.
ṣiṣẹ́ àríyàn kan jẹ ẹ ti rí táwọn ṣe jókòó jẹ ti ra tó bá wà lóko.
ìjọba sàánú wa iná sàánú kò lè bá wa níbẹ̀ tó tẹ̀ yín náà lọ́rùn Chicago kọ́fámìlì jẹ náà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kó sàánú wa àríkànjẹ kó sàánú wa.
In this chaos, there is a food seller. Her moi moi made from beans saves the boys from hunger, even when they can't pay for it.
jẹ́wọ̀n kì í sanwó àbálùlọ kálukú wọn máa ń ṣe káàkiri wọn máa ń yọ mí lẹ́nu fún oúnjẹ náà ní okùn ẹ̀mí wọn kì í wọ́n lè fún oúnjẹ lásán náà máa wọlé. ó pọ́ lẹ́bi tí mo dúró yìí tí mo dá lọ pọ́ ni mí o bí ìlọ́kọ́ báwọn ọmọ ìyá ni wọ́n máa ń ṣe mo fún wọn pé àwọn náà ṣàlẹ́ nìkan tí wọ́n máa ṣàjẹun.
We are in Koronu where people don't think. They are in desperate search of inspiration.
Depends on what I'm using it. It makes me feel.
Okay.
When you take ganja and you use it to reason about life or about anything about money,
okay,
you try to hustle more.
Okay.
And that is what I think it makes me to do.
It gives you inspiration.
Inspiration to think further.
Do you have a job? Do you have a job?
I have a job. I'm a graduate from Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro.
But you, so yes, you are a graduate. So where do you work?
No, I don't work in any place now.
You don't get job?
I don't get job now.
So that's why you spend more time here?
I spend more time here now. As at now, I'm a graduate from Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro.
So if you get job now, you're not going to spend more time here?
When I get job, I can't, when I get job and I have where I'm going to, as in office that I'm going to, I can't spend my time here.
There is unemployment, poverty, and drugs in Koronu. Even when boys are asleep, they are awake. It is carnival time. A leader of the Koronu Carnival Planning Committee is ready to delay the production crew unless it's donated to the carnival pause. He is calm enough to show he is ready to cooperate. Our man Pepe intervenes. We are negotiating.
March is okay. Which one is March?
January, March. January, February, March.
No, January, February, March. No. 30, 40, 50, 100.
Understanding the denomination of the street is the first obstacle. The carnival man has asked for June. June? Pepe says June is 6,000. We will give January, the crew announces. The carnival guy raises his voice in gentle anger. His anger fades as Pepe intervenes. Pepe wants us to donate much to the poor. We have settled for February. Negotiation went well. It's about the character of the street. Deal done. The boys are out from the corner shops like they were never there before. They are telling their tales of survival as the heat of hardship grows.
a máa ń rorí tiwa ni akíndíyèsí wa. korú la wà yó àwọn akíronú àmọ́ rorí àmọ́ fi ṣe kíni àmọ́ fi kémi owó alábàárù gbàrú àwọn ọmọ ìlú sábà gbàrú káàkiri sábàárù bẹ́ẹ̀ gan lẹ́rù. ọ̀pá àṣìṣe nígbà tá a rí bí ọ̀hún kan ló ń kọ́.
Seyi, you grew up in this area.
Very well. Precisely, Olomi, precisely.
Has anything really changed?
Nothing has changed. It has even gotten worse for us.
We've been moving around in this area. You've been seeing young boys.
That is how it has been since I was in my elementary school. I used this route to get to St. John's Catholic Primary School, where I did my elementary school, then to Ibadan City Academy, where I had my secondary school education. The situation remains the same. It has even gotten worse off.
Are you pained by the situation of life?
Yes, it's about politics and power. Auxiliary and Seyi Makinde are my case studies, breaking down the question of alliances. Okay, are you in this class? Let me see who is in this class. If you are in this class and you feel like hearing or speaking to the radio man directly, call the numbers 080915 51055. Call the radio station Splash 105.5 FM on 080 569 98678. Call the radio station 070 694 93000. So I'm waiting to hear your voice. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you, the staff captain.
Good morning.
Omobashon is my name.
All right, Omobashon.
Thank God I'm also present in the class this morning.
I'm happy.
Now, I come in front of question. Now, can anyone come out and tell me the military impact of this so-called the punk system management in our society? And why is this the state the number one citizen of the state governor, catch note on this issue? Thank you. Have a nice day. That's my question.
Thank you. The lines are open. Let me see who is in class. Abiodun Adeyemi says, good morning, radio man. Abu Kasimu. Abu, how are you? Abu says, auxiliary being in Seyi Makinde's government is a blunder. And that's just the bitter truth, he said. Akinola Olayinka is in class. Akinola, happy to have you in class. Elijah Ajanuojo says, the radio man, you spoke the word. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Akim Adebi calling from Ibadan.
Akim Adebi, good morning.
Calling from, good morning. Obilo. In respect of the auxiliaries' violent antecedents, I think the successive governments have been tolerating violence in this our state. And when you take a swipe at the numerous atrocities, violent atrocities that were committed by auxiliary, I think the government, the government did something urgent, you see, to at least to curtail the excesses. Number one, look at that episode, the road episode, in which one Ahmed was dastardly killed. Right? Nothing was yet, and government did not even take any concrete step in respect of that. Just of recent, many commercial shops were destroyed around Ogunpa. Not only that, the billboards of the political opponents of Seyi Makinde were destroyed. All these actions were led, operations were led by Mokaila Auxiliary. I think if the government, you see, was not at home with its activities, I think the hands of law must have caught up with him. So I think the onus is on Governor Seyi Makinde, right, to do the needful. Because as we are approaching another election cycle, I think we cannot continue to tolerate this sort of violence.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you. Amadi Lawson, how are you? Amadi Lawson is in class and he is watching on Edmund Obilo's page. Adetumbi Saidige, PhD, says he is punctual and attentive in this classroom. Said, I'm happy you are in this classroom. Thank you for always being there. Moses Arua Amedu says he is in class. I'm happy. As you are in class, also attract others to join the class. Share, leave your comment, say something on your page. Tell the people that the radio man is in class. Let's look at this side of the story. I stopped the narrative with the Elewiamo interview. Elewiamo is no more, and his death struck like a wild wind. Few months after that interview with him, he was killed in December 2010 during PDP local government congress in Onara local government. His death was a fallout of the crisis in the Oyo State People's Democratic Party at the time. Before his death, Elewemo told me that he had survived an assassination attempt. So let's listen to that narrative from him.
Talking about it, I asked every one of them. They cannot say I did not. So from there, policemen said they should carry every one of us to Iyago for interrogation. We now go there, make a statement, say that we are going to write an undertaking. So from there, Excellency sent somebody to come and bail every one of us. They now take us back to governor's house.
So what happened in the government house?
When we got there, the man was talking to us that it is not good for us to be fighting. We are very close to him. So it is not good. If anything happens, we have to sit down and talk it. Just settle it amicably. He now, in front of everybody, he now frustrates.
To the governor?
The governor himself. Even I don't even expect it. As he was opening his cap, I thought maybe he just want to take small air or what. Immediately I just saw him frustrating for us.
To beg you for peace? So the governor prostrated for you and Tokyo?
Yes.
For peace?
Yes. Immediately with them, we left there something after 10. in the night. We go to his filling station. He now called the secretary again that, oh yeah, go and give him query. I asked him, Oga, I know you did not supposed to give me any query.
So he's your Oga?
Yes. Well, I am the one that they spoil my property. I have 7 vehicles out of this vehicle. They spoil all my property. Somebody who spoil the property, you don't even give him any query. So it is me. He said he don't want to hear anything. Well, so far I know that all his plan is to push me out of the system. I took it. The following day, I called my charge. I was talking to them. They wrote the answer of the query. In the letter, there's CC copy to SS, CC copy to Commissioner of Police, CC copy to SLNC, CC copy to the National Headquarters of the Union. I now copy everywhere, and I give. If you say, all the letters is still with me. The following day, on the 5th, by 4 o'clock in the evening, I saw one of our staff at the State Council brought my answering the query that I answered to me again. They now write a small letter on top that this answer was rejected. I should go and remove that I was given a query letter at the filling station. I have to go and remove a CC copy to SSS, CC copy to Commissioner of Police, CC copy to Governor and the National Headquarters. I said, I've already sent everything.
So that was where another problem started?
Yes. In the night, I was in my house.
That same day?
Yes. On Friday, on the 5th of June, when I started hearing God. I don't know what is happening, but I do simply because my house is not okay. I've just entered into trouble. You know, I would like to go and see what is happening outside. After I hear these people jumping into my compound.
They came to assassinate you?
Yes. It's simply the door is iron. They now started shooting from one window to window. 2 of my child was wounded with bullet. 1 in the eyes. The other one at the chest.
Did they kill your guard?
When all this thing was happening, these people, I cannot carry them out because they are still a gun shoot outside. After I saw that there's nothing again, when we come out, I know we firstly see one at the front of the house. One of my guys. They already killed him down there.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
You know, I'm going through this narrative to bring to you the issues that threw up auxiliary as the number 1 man. You saw that struggle between Elewiomo and Tokyo. While the struggle was on, Elewiomo was the chairman of his own faction, and auxiliary was his deputy. It is the struggle for power. You heard him say Akala invited them for a meeting. You can see that relationship. They are close to power. Akala had to beg them for peace. You see the negotiation. Even after that, Tokyo went ahead and gave him query. It is about power. No. So what do they control that attract the governors? It is a script I will not be able to fully address today. So I am not looking at Ajimobi. Perhaps that will come some other day. Because you need to create this link to now see how Seyi Makinde got trapped in a circumstance that he cannot extricate himself from. Do I feel for Seyi? Do I feel for Seyi Makinde? Do I have to feel for him? He's up to the task, is he not? Now let's listen to Tokyo. We've been listening to Ilewiomo. Now that Ilewiomo interview was in 2010, the same year he died. So what I did at that time when the battle was on was to look for both of them. So Ilewiomo came on this day. The next day, Tokyo came. So here's what Tokyo has got to say. 2010.
Let me start from the Selako Ilewiomo. Immediately, I reached the state chairman in the year 2006. I gave Selako Ilewiomo second vice to the state council. Now, we are in the office and we had news that people kill his guard. Immediately with my executive and some of our branch chairmen, we went there to sympathize, to commiserate Selako Ilewiomo. We reached there. Selako, what happened here now? Who fighting to do this thing? Okay, why did they go out? He say they have carried the guard yesterday in the evening. What time this thing happened? He told me the thing happening by 10:30, and they have carried the dead body of the security by 11 o'clock. How do it be? Who carried them? He say police. Okay. We left there. Before we left there, police met me in his house. From Hijacked, say, you want to see us. Before the problem in Selako started in his house, Selako fighting with some of our members at Gate Motor Park, Iwo Road. And by then, on that day, we are in the meeting at Abuja with Gidado and Suwa. Suwa is the national secretary of this union. I heard on the phone that Selako Ilewiomo are fighting with the people in the garage. I make sure I phone him. He didn't answer my call. After he didn't answer my call, the governor himself phoned me. Say, Alaji Oluwatoki, who fighting at Agodi? I tell him, say, Selako is fighting with our members, so with people at Agodi Motor Park. Can you help me to call him to order? Because he always fighting with the people in the motor park.
So he's a fighter.
He's a fighter.
What does he fight with?
Maybe he has proved himself as a leadership of the union.
Does he fight with guns? He fights with weapons, cutlasses.
I make sure they have boys. They have their boys. They don't know how to drive. They are called their boys Ajanaku. One Ajanaku, one Ajanaku and
auxiliary?
Auxiliary and some others. So they will always follow him.
Have you seen them with guns?
By then, I didn't see them with guns.
Do they have guns now?
I think so. They have now.
They have?
Yeah, they have now.
You were talking about
the... and his member, they have gun now.
They have guns now.
And I want you to ask Ilewiomo if it is Ibadan people. Because they like founders in Ibadan. Because he's not a native.
Okay.
If it is Ibadan, tell him to show the burial ground of his mother and his father.
We will come to that. when you called the governor to call a Lewiamo to order during the fighting in a Road Motor Park, what did the governor do?
The governor called him, said somebody to go and call him. The governor returned back to me, said he didn't see Salako Lewiamo. Immediately after the meeting, we quickly rushed him back to Ibadan with my secretary on that issue.
So what did you do when you came back to Ibadan?
I came back from Ibadan. Before we left Abuja, we reported the matter to the national president. Since Salako is always fighting. The president of the union said I should query Salako. When we reach here, I tell his secretary to give him query letter. After the query letter, we heard that people killed his guard in his house.
Now, that was when the problem started between you and Salako.
Because I give him query.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
You see, Eliwemo says he is a good man. Tokyo says Eliwemo has guns. Eliwemo says it is Tokyo that is wicked. And Mukala Lamidi, auxiliary, said he has never touched gun before. These are interesting narratives, right? What about the governors? Do they have guns too? From this narrative, you see clearly the close relationship between government and the gangs. It started before Seyi Makinde's time. Some thought that Seyi Makinde would come with redemption, but he's trapped. Is he trapped? Since the return of democracy, every governor has encouraged it, but with different degree of connivance. Some handle it with care and tame them. Under Ladoja, Tokyo was sent to prison. He was not in Ladoja's good book. Good book. Why did he go to prison? Tokyo speaks.
There be problem during the tenure of Ladoja. Ladoja alleged me say I didn't follow him. I follow Lamadi Sina. They alleged me, perpetrated against me that I carry one man from Ogumaso side. So I have told them there's nothing concern me about that case. So they alleged me for that. They charged me to court.
Can you tell us more about this particular case? What happened?
You see, on that time, in Ogumaso, people are fighting together in Ogumaso. And I don't have anybody in that fighting. They are OPC people, they are fighting together with some of their members. So by then, they carry one of their leader, the mastermind mind, meaning that I'm the person send people to go and carry the man. Why? Am I a Jomagbe person? So they allege me for the case. They charged me to court without doing anything. They remanded me in custody at Agodi Gate. So in that time, Baba Dubu walked into that matter and he succeeded to bail me out of the problem. Later, we go for the case. I was discharged unacquitted for the case, which I don't know anything. Even that the day the problem happened at Ogumaso, I was in the meeting at the national headquarters, Abuja, which the letter wrote to me to invited me to the meeting. That letter is an alibi to that case.
Did they kill anybody in Ogbomoso?
They don't kill anybody. They don't kill anybody. They have framed it's a frame. It's a frame.
So you are saying that Ladoja framed you up?
Yes, exactly with my treasurer by then.
And Adedibu came to bail you?
They came to bail me out of the problem.
And you give 100% loyalty to Adedibu?
Exactly.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Look at it. Ladoja sent him to prison. And Adedibu came to bail him out. Remember the Adedibu Ladoja fight? Okay. Ajimobi sent auxiliary to prison. And somehow, Seyi rehabilitated him. Look at this. Because Akala messed with Tokyo, Tokyo joined Ajimobi's campaign in 2011 to defeat Akala. Tokyo told me that he joined the Ajimobi campaign because Ajimobi promised that by the time he becomes governor, he will reinstate Tokyo as the chairman of NURTW. Ajimobi becoming governor, understanding the game of power, reneged on that promise. And Tokyo was left in the cold. Perhaps Ajimobi felt at Tokyo, no, Tokyo's problem is too much. Let's bring somebody up. And Fele came up. By this time, auxiliary was sent to prison. It's the game of power. I will break it down. I will come and explain why it's happening this way. And that redemptive leader is that leader that will break away from that stranglehold. And society will now come with a breath of fresh air. That leader will come with a breath of fresh air. That is the redemptive leader that will be able to confront the status quo. Okay. I will be back after this break. Remember, it is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. I am Edmund Obilo.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.